everyone. So I'm here to clarify any questions that you may have about the informative speech. So all in all, let me give you some tips. First one, you must achieve the purpose. And the purpose of the speech was to increase your audience's knowledge of a topic that you care about. As you know, when you speak about a topic that you're passionate or you care about or you're interested in, it makes your delivery that much better, but it also makes your prep time with your skeletal outline and doing research for this informative speech a little bit more fun and exciting. So the purpose is to learn about something you want to know about or to teach your audience something that you're passionate about. And you're going to do that by acting like you're the teacher. Okay, so that is the purpose, to teach your audience something new, something that you're passionate about. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that just like you did with the cultural artifact speech, with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. But these are the main differences, as you probably know from reading the guidelines, between the informative and the cultural artifact speech. With the cultural artifact speech, you're talking about you're talking about a culture you belong to. It's something that comes as second nature, just to kind of like get your feet wet when it comes to public speaking. But for this speech, you're actually going to do a little bit of digging where you are going to get resources to back up your information. Because even though you are not the expert right now in your topic, you're going to be, right? As you teach us something new. Okay. So that brings me to oral citations. That is the biggest difference when it comes to the informative speech compared to the cultural artifact speech. With the informative speech, you have to have 1, 2, 3 oral citations. And oral citations are you telling the audience that you did your research on this topic, you are a credible source, and you're an ethical speaker. Okay. I would suggest with your 3 oral citations, you put 1 in each main point. Because unlike the cultural artifact speech, the informative speech has 3 main points in the body. So that's perfect for an oral citation 1, oral citation 2, oral citation 3. Okay, so what is an oral citation? There's a video on this, and I want you to look at that further. But all in all, an oral citation is something like this. According to Mr. Joseph Smith, an author at the LA Times in January 2025, he said that 25% of Los Angeles County, or Malibu, let's make it more specific, was burned during the LA fire. Done. So it's essentially you're just telling your audience the source, the date, and the author and their credentials, and then giving the direct quote or paraphrasing to add information to your main points, add information to your body. Okay. So you can consult a variety of sources. You can do magazines, you can do newspapers like I did in my example with the LA Times. You can do peer research articles, you can do websites, but only ethical and credible websites like .gov or .edu. Because again, the sources you use contribute to your speaker credibility as the informative speaker. Okay, so the best informative speech is going to achieve the purpose, have oral citations, and it's also going to be a speech that you speak to your audience. You want them to be interested in your topic. You want to grab them and bring them in to teach them something new. Okay. So just like the cultural artifact speech, you are required to have a 3-person audience. Setup is still the same. You're looking at me like I'm on the other end of your camera, and I see the back of 3 people's heads. Okay. 3 live person audience. That is required. Now, if something comes up, which sometimes it does, then just know that that's where you're going to lose points on your speech, is in the speaker setup. Okay. Make sure you're standing up. Make sure you're using a note card, and you can use a note card about this size. You can use it. Well, you actually have to use it. You need to use it. And if I were you, I would be writing down my oral citations word for word on my note card so I don't mess those up as I'm giving my speech. Okay. And I think that that is about it. Reach out and let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you brainstorm topics, but a good place for you to start. What was the last thing you Googled? Talk soon. Bye.